Thank you for joining us here at the summit. I hope everyone has had a fantastic 24 to now almost 48 hours of detailed information and a lot of talk around AI. So we're here to talk a little bit about, with our partners here at Dell and Intel, around the shift to AI-powered devices and what that means from a use case perspective, from a securities perspective, from an ROI perspective. And so we're going to dive right into their view of the AI-powered PC and what that means and how we can all help you together to advance you along that AI journey.
Thank you, Adam. I'm Kevin English, Senior Director of Modern Workplace Services. I've been at the company 18 years. And for the last 15, I've been helping customers, hundreds of customers, if not 1,000, make the shift and do device upgrades and deploy devices in large-scale manner. Adam, you want to quickly introduce yourself for the audience?
Yeah, I guess I forgot that part. So Adam Reiser, I run our end user compute practice here at SHI. So that is all the pre-sale support for the sellers that you guys all work with day in, day out, from all the major device and overlay partners like Intel and the chipset manufacturers, as well as some of the modern workplace services. Kevin and I work side by side on a lot of the services that we can wrap around those devices to help you out as well.
Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about services, but we want to introduce our esteemed guests. Sarah, Greg, do you want to introduce yourself to the audience quickly?
Sure. So my name is Sarah Wiskus. I run our commercial client sales team globally at Intel. The announcer got pretty close with my name. If you just remember whiskey, you're going to get there. Okay? So just remember that and you're going to get close.
Greg?
Great. Yeah, good morning, everybody. It's great to be here. Greg Hange. I lead our Northeast PC end user productivity business at Dell Technologies. So that's devices, peripherals, services, basically anything around productivity of our customers in the large enterprise, as well as our SLED customers too. So
well, thank you both for being there. I know you're very busy. So having 25 minutes to talk to our customers is really powerful. Before I get started, though, I wanted to ask you all a question. So I want you to open up your app and I want you to go into Slido. And I want you to answer this for me. So what concerns do you all have about implementing AI-powered devices in your workplace? And some of the answers, the possible answers are use cases or the cost of the device, the app gap between hardware and software, integrating with existing systems, and just concerns around employees having the skills to work with AI PC powered devices. What do you all think? I'll give you a second or two to fill in.
They're all interesting.
Very interesting question. And I hear a lot as I talk to customers on a daily basis, most of which I hear around, I'm just not sure how to use this thing. But I'm seeing that there's an even split between concerns around what the use cases are, but also the cost of the device. Money is very important. Cost is very important. Right now, we're all being asked to do more with less. So thank you all for participating there. Sarah, I will turn it over to you just to present some of the information that you're presenting to customers worldwide.
Yeah, we get a lot of those same questions globally at Intel. And really, our strategy is to really remember that a really great AI PC has to start with a great PC, right? We had to be really careful when we announced the term AI PC. We announced that term last year when we introduced the Ultra 100 series platform. And we had to be careful. And we actually got feedback from SHI that said, don't emphasize AI PC and make it look like an appliance, like it's the only thing that AI PC can do. And so we took that feedback to heart. Thank you, Adam. He was one of those people. And we said, at the end of the day, it has to be a really great PC too, right? This isn't journey. We're at the top of the first inning. We have a whole game to go through. And we know that when you are making an investment into your PC fleet, you're going to keep these devices 3, 4, 5 years, hopefully no longer than that. And you're going to have to ride this out, right? And so the way we really think about it from a great PC perspective is in categorizing this as an entire solution. So it's got to be the best experience. It has to be the most secure, and it has to be the easiest to manage as an overall solution. Don't pick that apart. And under best experience, yes, great AI use cases. We'll talk a little bit more about that. All the software enabling that has to happen. Just because it's x86 doesn't mean it's an automatic. You have to do that software enabling work. You have to provide the libraries. You have to provide the training. You have to work with the developers of the ISVs to leverage that. But in addition to that, you need the best performance. You need the best battery life, connectivity. Connectivity is huge. People rely on Intel Wi-Fi. They just do. The performance is there. They don't drop packets. Great driver stability. Like, we can't forget the entire solution. And then when we look at most secure, this becomes really important because we talk a lot about AI for good, but there's a lot of AI for evil too, right? And we don't talk enough about that. I think there was a session yesterday a little bit about that. At the end of the day, the attackers are getting really sophisticated leveraging AI to attack systems and networks. So security was always a big issue, but it's even going to get worse. So you have to make sure you're on the most secure platform you possibly can. And those attackers are so good at attacking software, right? They go after the OS, they go after drivers, they go after malware. And the next layer they're trying to get to is firmware and BIOS below the OS. So we have to protect that. And then lastly, easiest to manage. My goodness, we just had the biggest outage in PC history in July with the Blue Screen Friday, I call it. And the world realized how important PCs are. They were a little bit more like a disposable compute model, like one breaks, okay, I can be down for a couple days, I can ship a new one. But the world realized, wow, there are certain mission critical PCs that if they go down all at once, I cannot run my business. So think about point of sale systems in retail. Think about manufacturing line PCs. Think about operating room PCs. Like, it was everywhere. And vPro, which is the Intel commercial grade platform, has had that remote lights out management for over 18 years.
Sure.
Right? And we had customers, and we've got case studies, so many case studies, that were able to remotely fix those systems in a matter of hours versus days. So it's an entire solution that really starts with AI PC is great, but it has to be a great PC at its fundamental start.
Right. And so I have a few questions for you.
Yes.
What if I don't have any immediate plans for AI on a PC? How do you measure ROI for a customer without any use cases currently?
Yes. So first of all, first step, you have to be on modern architecture. You have to be on modern infrastructure. You can't leverage the AI benefits if you are on something that's 4 years old. You just can't. So step 0, we say, is you have to be on something modern, number 1. Number 2, the easiest ROI for an AI PC is something we call offload. At the end of the day, and you heard a little bit about this yesterday, the AI PC has 3 processors instead of 1. You have a CPU, a GPU, an NPU. All 3 are important for AI, depending on how the ISV has written their code. And the CPU, especially in commercial, has something we call agent bloat, right? A typical bank will have 5,000 applications. You have all these agents running in the background. Your fans are taking off for no reason. And offloading those background use cases, like your security scanning in the background, your collaboration software, video, to these other engines, you get like 20% of your performance and battery back. It's almost like when we transitioned from spinning hard drives to SSDs. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that? Everybody's like, oh, I don't know. These are pretty expensive and less capacity. But then you put it into the system and it was instant, like wow, this is fast. This is 20% more at least. That's what offload is. And so that's easiest ROI step. And then you can get more advanced when you think about specific use cases, right? Productivity with things like Copilot Plus, collaboration, Teams and Zoom. And in January, we just added WebEx support for the AIPC. Security, so CrowdStrike, Microsoft Defender, Trend, McAfee, they're all leveraging that offload capability. When we talk about content creation with Adobe, they're leveraging the AIPC. When we talk about lifecycle management, so we had this big moment happen where the world went blue, and so we're adding Intune to that, right? And they're leveraging the AIPC and the management capability. And then accessibility, everyone has diversity and inclusion goals. And it's so interesting to see how we've worked with some ISVs like OmniBridge to enable sign language to text using the AIPC so that we can enable a diverse and productive workforce. So you can get it, and then you can get last step, your own data, and I can build my own AI chatbots and AI assistants. And so we've created solutions like the AI Assistant Builder. Dell has their Studio solution. And we can help customers that do not want to have their data leave them to leverage the AIPC. So that's the best way I describe ROI.
I have so many more questions, but in the interest of time, I just want to thank you for your insights and turn it over to Greg.
All right, perfect.
Yeah, I should tag on to that question just asked Sarah, because we do have an ROI calculator available at Dell.com. We estimate that at least if you get 12% more efficiency out of an AI PC, you'll make your money back within 1 month. So there is compelling data there to support the investment for AI PCs, and we have an out-of-the-box calculator to help you guys make that argument internally for investment. So,
and that answers the question around device costs and how do you prove to the folks that are giving you the money to buy these devices what the ROI is. So thank you guys.
Yeah,
Greg?
perfect. Yeah, so you wanted me to just run through these real
Yeah,
quick?
if you don't mind.
So I think, Sarah hit a lot of good points, and I might go a little off script here just based on what Sarah shared. But first of all, the vPro thing's a real thing. We actually have a customer that's an airline. Unfortunately, we weren't able to sell them vPro, and they suffered some pretty dire consequences as a result of that. So I can attest
So they're looking at it now.
to that soundbite that she had there. Also on the ISV side too, we look really hard at our ISV certifications. We have over 140 ISV certifications in our Pro Max line. We piggyback off of all the ISV work that Intel does in their portfolio. All this stuff is really kind of coming at you. And I hate to tell you guys, like whether you want to use AI or not, like it's coming. In fact, actually, whether you guys are sanctioning it as central enterprise IT operators, our data shows that 3 out of 4 people are already using AI at work anyway, whether you know it or not. I mean, we used to talk about shadow IT in the cloud. It's the rinse and repeat cycle here, right? I mean, I don't know anybody that I work with or I'm friends with that isn't using ChatGPT or Gemini. We just had Google up here, right, in the background. And so, I think obviously there's a lot of opportunities here around regaining some of the operational control, the standards, taking these things to scale, driving efficiencies. And then the other thing I think that I saw on the survey is change control and tech adoption for your employees and just getting people comfortable with it. And, of course, you have 50,000 tools out in your environment. That becomes increasingly more complex, right? So the opportunities to really standardize, drive real results for your organization, that is something that, unfortunately, that's going to fall to you guys as IT operators, but that is the job, right? Because it's coming. It's not a question of if, right? It's not even a question of when, because it's now, right? Everybody's using it now. So it's how do you kind of get that operational wrapper around it? How do you standardize, extract the value, empower your employees? And it could be around productivity, and we're going to continue to talk a little bit more about that. Streamlining operations, machine learning, data analysis. We're doing a lot around computer vision and healthcare, digital twins. I mean, you name it, right? The use cases are kind of coming out of the woodwork here. I was just talking to a customer yesterday about how they have choice anxiety. That was their term.
I've never heard that one. That's new.
And like, because not only do you have, all these different tools and models and capabilities, but also where do you start, right? And so that's a really hard part that our customers are always grappling with. So
yeah, that app gap concern, that list of 140 certified ISVs is something that I think we should share.
Yeah.
But thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Yeah, you bet. And and so that's all the ISV stuff that really Intel's leading and driving, and that's the stuff that's just going to automatically occur, right, in your normal builds for whatever applications you guys are using. And then you either are going to take advantage of it with an NPU-based, AI PC, or you're going to suffer the consequences of performance and battery life in your existing old PCs.
Yep.
There's an analogy that one of my product managers told me that if you were going to go run a marathon and I handed you a pair of sneakers or a pair of flip-flops, who's going to win the race, right? I mean, that's really the analogy of like, hey, if I give you an AI PC or if I give you a 5-year-old PC, right? That 5-year-old PC, you're running a marathon in flip-flops, right? It's not going to, you may make it, all right, but it's not going to be fun. You're going to have a lot of blisters. But yeah, so everything there off the shelf is coming. The other side of that is, hey, how can we help you guys build AI capability that's going to differentiate your company and differentiate your organization? It's going to empower your people. It's going to attract and retain talent that are embracing these tools. Like I said, 3 out of 4 people are already using them. So how do you get people on board and excited about you're giving them the latest and greatest tools to grow their career, to learn new technology, to contribute to the company in significant and meaningful ways? And, that's the part I think where we're starting to teeter, where, hey, some people are kind of getting it and some people are like, well, we don't really know what to do. And I think that, you're talking about, what was it that you offer? No, for the to help build AI apps.
Oh, it was AI Assistant Builder. You have solutions too. Yep.
Right.
Easy button.
Right. So we have the studio, Dell AI Studio. We have validated designs that are on our posted to our GitHub. And we're seeing an increasing appetite to start to move. And I don't know if Chitra's still here. Hopefully she's not listening. But we are moving some stuff out of the cloud to PCs, especially workstations. You can start to run large language models on workstations. We were just out at GTC. We announced a new workstation, at least it was a teaser, that offers 20 petaflops in the workstation itself, which is like, I don't even know. That's mind blowing to me. We can do that. It hosts 8 NVIDIA Blackwell GPUs. It is an Intel workstation. But short of that, right, you can use things like retrieval augmented generation. You can get to smaller language models. You can get those onto all the other Mac series. I mean, we have a demo at Dell Technologies World where we're running LLMs on just a regular old Intel Latitude device, right? So, there's an enormous amount of opportunity here, and just wrapping your head around kind of where you start and what you do. And as far as Dell Technologies is concerned, we're trying to answer the mail for everybody, if you will, right? Just because there is so much opportunity out there. So, we have a very large portfolio all the way from the data center to data centers to PCs to edge devices. There's a huge machine learning, and I mentioned digital twins earlier. There's a huge edge opportunity for AI around operational intelligence. So, we think our customers want to do more with less partners. You're looking at, I think, 3 really great partners right in front of you. So offering that whole entire portfolio is really important for us as far as how we differentiate. But I think, the job at hand is really trying to help our customers figure out, hey, where to get started, what tools to use, and then how do we best take advantage of these modern investments that, like you said, you have to make it, right? So let us help you justify the investments. Let us help you identify the use cases. And then let's get the right hardware in your hands too, because maybe you don't. I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed, but like apparently you have to spend like $500 billion to like stand up a new AI cloud or something. And we just kind of think that that's not really necessary.
No, not necessary.
So when you talk about the cost of the device, right, that all starts with the use case to say, hey, maybe we can get you into the right part of the product portfolio that we're going to meet the budget that you guys need. And we'll do all the other things around the device to make sure that the hardware cost is optimized. And if you do that well, and then also with the opportunity of maybe moving some stuff from the cloud onto the device, you can increase your security, you can reduce your network bandwidth requirements, which also is, by the way, a huge amount of cost around AI as far as data ingress and egress.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of moving parts here.
Thank you, Greg.
But yeah,
It's a very exciting time to be in client computing.
yeah.
A lot of innovation, and I appreciate the partnership with Dell and Intel. But before we move on, I know, Adam, you have a couple of
I mean, there was a
questions
couple of
for
things that you
Greg.
hit on there, Greg, that piqued my interest. But I think you mentioned productivity in there, right? And I think what we're hearing a lot is that we can expect, or customers can expect to see X%, up to 25% productivity gains, right? But we've talked a lot about use cases and how we're still developing them. So what are some real world kind of use cases you're seeing today that with your customers?
In 2 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think I went on a little too long.
No,
about
you're
this
good.
Part, but yeah,
We got a
so
tight timeline.
I mean, it's simple stuff, right? I mean, automatic note taking, meeting summaries, those are really the easy ones. Research is incredibly powerful, right? We have a Dell AI sales chat that we rolled out from a company called Glean. It's running in
Yeah, we know
Azure.
Glean AI.
Yep.
Yeah,
Use that in the lab.
here's a great example. Actually, yesterday I was hitting it because I was trying to do a little bit of research for this. I have another presentation later today too, and I couldn't get the response because of latency issues
Uh-huh.
out of Azure, right? And I was like, maybe we should be running this on workstations instead of in the cloud. But research is a huge one. But those simple things around collab really is kind of where we're starting. And then the other one is just productivity with, we talked about CrowdStrike earlier, right? So embedding and offloading the security agents to the NPU, just that alone, I mean, getting your performance kind of back in your PC because you can offload your security agents, that'll easily get you well beyond the 25% productivity.
Yeah, I would add, so we talked about a lot of AI use cases for the end user, but we also have AI use cases for IT. And we have a few IT people in the room today, right?
I bet.
One of those is really around analytics. So I'll give you an example. So in the vPro-based AI PCs today, we have something called connectivity analytics. And I'll give you a real world example. So we had someone call the help desk. They had a brand new PC with beautiful Wi-Fi 7 from Dell. They're like, oh my gosh, I am getting the worst connection speed. Like, I don't understand what's happening. I think it's the PC. And so we were able to leverage the connectivity analytics in the AI PC that has vPro to determine that it wasn't the PC at all. It was a beautiful Dell device with Wi-Fi 7. They had a router that was really old and only rated for Wi-Fi 4. So it was downgrading to that speed. So, and the analytics of the platform told IT that it was a router problem. They upgraded the router to a Wi-Fi 7 capable router, and voila. So the insights that I think IT is going to get and the reduction in help desk calls that IT is going to get by leveraging the analytics in an AI PC with vPro is huge.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. And Adam, what can SHI do to help and pull all of this stuff together that Intel and Dell just laid out for us?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think Greg said it. We have 3 great partners here on the stage. We all work very, very well together. But I think many of you, I think I won't ask for a show of hands because these lights are really bright and I can't really see anything. But
they're out there.
If you did the Next Gen Lab, Device Lab tour, and the AI and Cyber Lab Security, Cybersecurity Lab tours yesterday, that's the great place to start, right? We can bring all of this technology together. We can help develop use cases. We can test those 140 ISVs that we talked about, right? We can put those on the devices, mimic your environment, and help understand how those devices are going to interact and work and function within your device, and make sure that you're making the right choice for the right persona and the right use case. And so that's a great place to start, is I think if we can utilize our labs and understand how do we maximize your investment, and make sure you're making the right choice on the right device. But then we can also help you deploy and manage in the field on your side of the house, Kevin.
It's true. Your piece is very new and exciting and innovative. Kudos to you and your team for putting the Next Gen AI Lab together. It's a great place to start. But as you've seen through the last day or so, SHI has a full suite of services, not only just to help you select devices and create use cases for AI, but to deploy those devices for day one delivery. But we also have options to help you support those devices throughout the entire life cycle So when you're looking to enter into the sustainable economy and to refresh those devices, we have a full suite of asset recovery programs and support programs. And so between the three of us, we've got your back. And we're very excited for you all to be here. Thank you for your time this morning, and have a great rest of your afternoon.